Hey guys, welcome back to Etheria Restart. In today's video, I messed up bad. It's not the end of the world, but it really does suck. So I want to cover what I did so you guys don't do it. It's a very rare instance, but it absolutely sucks. I want to do a few other things. I've got my first rare summon where it's like a 10% chance at an SSR. So I want to pop that, see what we can get out of that. I want to give you guys an account update and also show you the Sharon boss. Just give you the TLDR and the strategy for that in case some people are stuck there, because I feel like it's a boss where a lot of people will get stuck. But first of all, let's talk about my mistake, and it has to do with this Sharon boss. Now, if you see here on Messiah, I've cleared him and my first clear rewards are obtained. If we go over to Sharon, I've cleared her, but my first clear rewards are not obtained. So let me take you through a little story. So essentially what I was doing is I was doing this fight on my phone. It's a really annoying fight. I'll give you the TLDR and the strategy in a second. But as I was doing it, I was taking screenshots. So I took this screenshot when I was on the final wave of it to remember the team that I used to clear it, so that I could show people if they were struggling. Then when I cleared the battle, I took this screenshot. You can see it took me 16 minutes of manual play to get through the boss fight. Now, I was playing it on this Black Shark gaming phone. It has, the trigger toggles and all that. But the thing is, I bought this phone when Punisher and Grey Raven released, so I could play that on my phone better. And it's old. And so the lock button that you've got to press along with the volume button to take a screenshot, it jams. And when I took this screenshot on screen right now, it jammed and turned my phone off. So now, if we come over here into the Sharon and we go into it, if you look on the left-hand side of screen, once we get down the elevator, you can see defeated enemies 1 of 1, chests obtained 0 of 1. And I'm like, surely we just walk up and collect the chest. Surely we just do that, yeah? So we get our 300 gems. Nope, I've got to go ahead and beat the bitch again. No way that's a thing. No way that's a thing. So yeah, dude, please, if you beat one of these bosses, especially a shit one, collect the chest before you turn your game off. I hope that gives you guys a bit of enjoyment, because hey, it's not the end of the world suffering, and we all enjoy someone else's suffering a little bit. So there you go. That's what I did. Now with the Sharon fight, I want to quickly TLDR this. So it's a 3-phase fight. The first phase, every time the flowers attack, they will gain a random buff. There's like attack buff, defense buff, life leech, crit rate, all those. Immunity's another one. And so when that first phase ends, when you basically kill Sharon's full health bar, she will gain an undispellable version of any buffs the flowers have. So if you look at, if I go over here into my screenshot to show you guys, you can see that she has an undispellable defense buff. The timer is unique to that phase, but the defense buff is undispellable. So the one buff I couldn't remove off the enemies was the defense buff. So you've got to remove all those in the first wave, and if there's any that you do, the first phase of the fight, and if you get into phase 2, any of those buffs stay for the rest of the battle, the next 2 phases. So once again, defense buff wasn't too bad. It wasn't making me die faster. It was just making her take a little bit longer, so I was okay with that. So I was using Jada paired with Lily. So Lily's basic attacks would make Jada follow up, which she could steal the buffs, and then Jada's basic attack I would just use on them as well to steal the buffs. So that's how I tried to manage it. If you have a Heinrich or something like that, or a Viper, that's viable as well. But obviously she is green, which sucks because I'm using a full blue team. But that is the first phase. The second phase, the flowers just do so many damn dots, it's not funny. So in the second phase, I've heard people say control the flowers. What I did was I shifted my Lily to buff my what's her face? My Ling Lo, so that Ling Lo's cooldowns would be coming up more often, so that I could keep getting the big heal and immunity. So that's what I did. I decided not to control them. I decided just to out heal and cleanse the poisons that they could apply. And then in the third phase, you've just got to kill the 2 flowers as quickly as possible. And then every 3 turns, she will revive them. And you just got to keep killing the flowers and then hitting her, because when the flowers are alive in phase 3, she will be invincible. So that's the basic strat for the Sharon fight, for anyone that was curious about it. But once again, that was my experience in the Sharon fight. Now, luckily, at least I can keep going through the rest of it. Maybe I'll come back to Sharon later on. But the event did allow me to complete it. So there's this Lethal Pursuit event, which it did count as a clear. So I did manage to get the unique summon, the enhanced prototype, which we will pop in a sec. But just quickly, an account update. You probably saw that we had Tiamat in there. I did finally pull the pin and just use my selector on Tiamat. The smart play for my account would have been to go Kloss, but I was just missing Tiamat, man. You know, it is what it is. So I've got her on a Swift Bramble with 1 crit rate slot to get her to 58% crit rate. The reason being is that because I maxed my Lily's skill 2, because I maxed this and I get 100% crit damage uptime, when I use Lily buffing Tiamat, I just figure it gives me a good solid bit of damage boost by having that crit rate because we get a permanent 50% crit damage increase. So that was my play with Tiamat. And that's pretty much it. We are currently on the account. We are farming Doki Doki, but I think that may go away because of the change that is listed in the update. I'm not too sure. Basically, in Doki Doki, let me pull up the guys would have seen this on stream. But there was here we go. So let's just play this for you. So this is Doki Doki Hell 4 with Jada. Now, I would have reset Jada if this was no longer going to work, but basically Jada can steal this buff from the middle here on the enemy boss. So that buff that he has, Jada can steal it. So if you watch here, we used Lily's basic attack, Jada used hers, and you can see she just gained that buff here, that it looks like attack up, but it's a damage increase. And so once she gains that, watch what the damage she does. Boom, wipes the whole wave. And then Lily's going to boost her again. And then she goes boom and kills the whole wave. So that's Hell 4. So Hell 4's on farm with that. But I'm worried that might go away. If that goes away, I can still do Hell 4 with Tiamat double healer. So the team would look something like this. Oh, no, not that. Something like that. I can still do it, but it's just slower, and it's about 80% from the testing I did, whereas the other one's like 90 to 95% with Jada. So we'll have to wait and see what they do, but honestly, if it does get patched and she can no longer steal that buff, I wish I could have reset my Jada, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's pretty fun just tapping those waves. It's hard to make it work on auto. But like I put Tiamat in the team so we had more tankiness so she didn't get one shot so that we have more turns because eventually Lily is going to use a basic attack. But hey, it is what it is. We'll punch through with whatever we get, but that's where the account's at. We're currently grinding that, but I have been just back to farming shells. I'm still yet to get a good shell from Nico. I just want, because I'm farming Doki, I really just want a Swift Rush Harvest shell for White Fang. And I just cannot get, like, you can see how much I farmed this, and I've sold a bunch of these guys. I don't have one. I want a Swift Rush Bramble Artisan. I don't have one. And I also want either 3 Swift Rush or Bramble on an Alicorn, and I still don't have one. So that's kind of where we're at. The shell farming has gone absolutely horribly. You can see this one's actually done decently. We got the crit damage. We got the attack. We got insight here. It's not the greatest, but because it was a red run, I'm just going to leave it. I feel like this would actually work really well on someone like Leon. So at the start of a PvP battle, she can like have a higher chance of stealing the gauge. So maybe I eventually put that on Leon or something like that. Besides that, I'm okay with that one. This one got defensive stance. It got the surge for 20% HP. And this shadow dash took me like a day and a half worth of farming, and I only got a 9 speed. So I was pretty salty on this one. This one is not the greatest for my Tiamat, but because this is a good supportive one anyway, maybe I'll eventually swap this over to a support character. So that's why we've got that there. That's where our shells are at. But yeah, that's pretty much where the account is at. I'm waiting to see the new characters before I go into my next 6-star and think about that. I did in the 10 pool that I got the Tiamat. I did manage to get myself, where is he? I managed to get myself a Didding. So I'm looking at building Didding, but once again, waiting on the new characters and see what we do. Because if we go into my summons here, you can see that we do have 123 saved up. So got to decide what I'm going to do there. But that is the general account update. Hopefully you got a laugh at my fail with the Sharon boss. Don't do that. Please just collect your damn chests. Oh my God, taking a screenshot of all things cost me. All right, let's go in. Let's do this bad boy. It's my first one of these on the account. What I am really hoping for is not even an SSR. I am hoping for a Viper because I still don't have one, or a Valerian, or a Didding dupe, I mean, I don't have Marvel either. I'd take that. Like Valerian or Didding dupe would be great. Or even a Sanya dupe would be fantastic. I'd take any of those and obviously any SSR. So let's go. Please. Okay. Please be Valerian. Please be Valerian. Come on. Surely. Well, that didn't go as planned. Anyway, that was my first very rare summon that went, you know, as to be expected. If you guys do get that one in every 10 of you guys who gets an SSR, massive grats. I hope it's not a dupe. Anyway, guys, that is it for the update. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.